On this one, let's bring in Jennifer Carlson, who's a public affairs consultant. Jennifer, thank you very much for joining us. I suppose we can say at least, with Trump saying what he said about the missile tests and North Korea, him not being bothered about it, at least he's being honest.
Well, I'm not sure he's being honest with that statement. I think that he may perceive it as being less of a direct threat than some members of his team. But as we have gotten used to this president over the past few years, we realize that he is predictably unpredictable and is not afraid to contradict his team publicly. So, as far as it being affecting policy, I haven't seen any indications that that's the case.
One wonders what Shinzo Abe might be making of this one. Perhaps he's seen Trump making light of what Japan sees as a genuine threat.
That could be interpreted that way if we were assuming that there had been no conversations before the press conference about what would be said and what the president's positions would be. I don't think it would come as any shock to the Prime Minister of Japan as to what the president planned on saying and what his sentiments were. So we're never privy to that information publicly, but certainly there were conversations that went on leading up to these public comments. And so this would not have taken the Prime Minister by surprise. He may not have liked it. However, he would have known that it was coming.
Indeed. You're painting a real picture for us now, because there are always these conversations behind the scenes that we perhaps are not au fait of, and clearly things are maybe said or disagreed on behind the scenes and then expressed in public, and you've perfectly captured that and what happens. Do you feel this will have any other effect on the other business of this visit, of course, with the talks on trade, isn't it?
I don't think so. I mean, I get the feeling that this president, and from what I've seen in some of his other actions, it takes the business side of it, trade, he takes it in a different context, that he takes the international relations having to do with conflict and personalities. He seems to be able to separate those two out. And so I think from a U.S. perspective, I would imagine, of course, I don't speak for the president, from a U.S. perspective, the trade talks with Japan are very different and based on a symbiotic relationship. And I would imagine that the PM of Japan feels the same. I mean, economics at home is much different than the international relations of conflict.
Jennifer, we could talk a lot more, but sadly, time is against us and I need to move on. But thank you very much indeed for that insight into exactly what is happening there in Tokyo, where Donald Trump is meeting with Shinzo Abe on that 4-day state visit in Japan. Thanks again, Jennifer Carlson, for joining us.